Here we have the newly released Carpod Go T3 Pro. This is a fully laminated display unit. So this is for you guys that do not have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto installed into your vehicle. This is an alternative than installing a doubled-in head unit. It's super easy to install, less than 5 minutes, especially if you do not want to mess with the vehicle's wiring to install a doubled-in head unit, or you just don't want to pay a shop to install it, save a little bit of money. This is a better alternative. This is so easy to install in under 5 minutes, unless you're running a rear view camera. Then it's going to take you a little bit longer, but it's not that complicated. That being said, let's go ahead and open this up and see what comes included in this box. All right, upon opening this box, we have the 8.9-inch fully laminated display. We got the power source here, which you hook up to a cigarette lighter, and we have this Bluetooth adapter here. So if your car does not come with Bluetooth, this will give your vehicle Bluetooth. We have the rear view camera wiring, the rear view camera, and this is if the screen on your rear view camera stays black, you attach this. We got the mounting glue and screws for the rear view camera. We have this magnet. So this magnet here, you could use with any of these mounting options. So this magnet makes it to where this display is quick release, and you could take it with you whenever you park your vehicle. So that way nobody, goes into your vehicle and steals that. Here we have some mounting options with double-sided tape. So you could glue onto your dash, use this thing to mount here, and then mount it on to the display. These here also have the double-sided mounting tape, and you could mount this onto your dash somewhere. Instead of using this thing for your glass, you could go ahead and use it onto your dash if you want to run this one. So this thing right here, you could also obviously put it onto your glass. And the good thing is that it extends and goes back to normal. You could also tilt this, which is pretty cool. We're probably going to go ahead and use this mount on the glass instead of these. One thing you got to make sure of is that the bottom of the display unit is touching your dash. I'll show you guys later on in the video, so that way there is less chance of it falling off. They give you a couple different mounting options when you go to check out on this unit, so just make sure to check that out. So the car that this is going on is a 2004 Honda Accord. My car does not come with a aux connection, so we will not be using this. Came with a little attachment for the USB, but I do not know where I left that at. To note that it does come with a lead where you could plug in a USB if you want to play music, videos, whatever. It has the option for a mic, has the option for the rear view camera, audio if you want to connect a aux cable directly from here to your car. I believe that's what it's for, and it also has obviously the power source here on this side. Before we get started on this Carpod Go T3 Pro installation, you're going to go ahead and decide which mounts you want to go with. So you could either use this, stick it onto your dash, or you could go with this, stick that onto your dash and attach this, and then attach this to the magnet portion of the display. You go ahead and use this mount with that once that's glued down, and you can go ahead and mount your display. We're not going to use those. We're going to go ahead and go with this glass mounting option. So we're going to remove that plastic there, and we're going to mount this somewhere on here. So we're going to attach this magnet portion. You just unscrew it, clip it on, and then screw it back on, and it should hold on tightly. Now that our suction cup bracket is placed onto the glass, all we have to do now is literally just attach a screen to it. It's a magnet. It goes on right away, which is pretty crazy, and it's really easy to take off. So when you're on the go, you could just go ahead and remove it and be on your way. You have to unplug the power cable, which is not plugged in yet. Another thing I really have to note is that make sure the bottom of the display is touching something. That way, it's less of a chance of the screen falling when you're driving. It's actually being supported by something. Now that we connected the power source to the Carpod Go display, let's go ahead and turn it on. It's actually pretty quick. I've already turned it on. As you can see, I put the Honda logo as a startup screen. And another thing to note, from startup till your phone is connected to Apple CarPlay, it is about 12 seconds. So it's pretty quick in my opinion, as you can see here. So now that you have the display unit powered on, you might be asking yourself, okay, the display unit is on now. How am I going to play sound if this unit is not connected to my speakers? Well, let me explain to you a little bit on how this works. First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and start with the method that we will not be using, which is the aux Bluetooth selection. So my car does not have an aux port, so we can't use this, but essentially you would connect this to the aux port. You would connect this to a power source, to a USB, which luckily power source cigarette lighter they provided has a USB section. You just plug it in there, connect this to a aux. So essentially your vehicle will now have Bluetooth, and the way that would work is your phone's Bluetooth would connect to this. The music will then transfer through your aux port into your speakers. So that's one way of doing it. That was our first option for sound. The next option is you click on speaker, and that's an integrated speaker on the display that it'll play the music out of. I also have the aux, which I showed you guys. The next one is the FM. You're gonna go ahead and click on a radio station you want to switch to. As you can see, my radio station is set there, and it's set to the same one there. So now when I connect my phone to this unit, it's pretty much like an FM transmitter, and it's gonna transmit the audio to that station. Pretty amazing how that works, because it cuts out the middleman of using the FM transmitter, which is a really cool option that this display unit has. So last but not least, it's a dual Bluetooth, so display only. Technically, your phone will just connect to Bluetooth to this, and it'll just be for the display. For example, you could take an FM transmitter, which I have here. It's kind of broken, don't mind it. So I have 2 cigarette lighter locations on my vehicle. I have one there, I have one in here. So essentially my phone will be connected to both, to the display and to this FM transmitter. So we'll set the radio station to my stereo there, and we'll set the same radio station to the FM transmitter, and my phone will be connected to both. So my phone will be connected to the display and the FM transmitter at the same time, one for sound and the other one just for display. So Carpod Go also sells a FM transmitter that you could use as a power source for the display, and you won't have to use both cigarette lighter ports as I'm doing here, or you could just buy a USB-C charging cable that you could use on your transmitter if you have one now to give power to this display. So now that I explained the audio options, now we're going to go ahead and go through this unit, see what it has. First and foremost, we have the system, which is language, date and time. Then we have the Bluetooth to connect your phone. Display. The cool thing about this unit is that it has a light sensor on the back of it. Nighttime, the screen will light up a little bit more. During the daytime, it's a little bit more brighter. Light sensor here, so we could turn that off or we could turn it on, and you could choose how bright you want it to be at night, how bright you want it to be during the day. Have wallpaper, you can swap your wallpapers. We have logo, you set as logo and it'll reboot with your logo. Then you got your CarPlay settings, we got your volume, audio output, information about the system. You can update the system here as well. Going back to the home screen, you got your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth settings, brightness, back settings. We got about right there. We got your FM and the little Bluetooth sign. Both of them are going to take you to the same setting. See, a couple other options you have is this USB attachment here that you attach to the back of this. Plug in a USB if you have any music or pictures you want to view or play on to the display unit. The rear view camera, which is not installed yet. Eventually, I'll go ahead and install it, but I mean, it doesn't really have a setting to click on. It's just when you put your car in reverse, the camera is going to come up and you'd be able to see when you're backing up. Down the line, I will be installing it. I haven't done it yet. I might end up selling this vehicle, so I'll probably go ahead and install it onto another vehicle that I do get. It's pretty simple. You just connect this part to the back of the unit, then you connect this part to your rear view camera. This red wire right here to your reverse switch, so when you reverse, it automatically turns it on. But I'm pretty sure there's other videos on there on how you connect your rear view camera. If you don't know what you're doing, you could just take it to a stereo shop. They shouldn't charge you much to install this rear view camera. Another thing is that this display unit is the only 60 frames per second wireless CarPlay portable screen on the market as of now. Super smooth user experience with quick responses and no lags when navigating through the screen, with a 1920 by 720 resolution. So with the pure Bluetooth display mode, and your vehicle already comes equipped with Bluetooth, unit will just display the screen, but you'll still be able to use your steering wheel buttons and microphone. So one thing I did forget to mention is that you could switch from day mode to night mode just by scrolling down like that with your finger on that corner of the screen. Pretty easy, and it's really convenient, just, you know, so you could choose what preference you'd like, whether you like the dark screen or the lighter screen. And here's just the Apple CarPlay, very responsive. If your vehicle does not have a factory stereo or a double din stereo with Apple CarPlay or any of those goodies, this is the unit to go with. It is a solid unit, turns on fast, pretty responsive, worth the money. It's half of the price of a double din stereo. If you guys would like to purchase this, go ahead and click the link down below. Use my discount code, take advantage. With that being said, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.